Hello YouTube, welcome back to my FE8 0% LTC. This is Jumpy23, and today we're doing Chapter 12. So the game kicks us right into Chapter 12 without a map movement sequence. This happens for 4 times throughout the game, Chapters 1, 8, 12 in both routes, and Final. It doesn't really matter, just a fun fact, and yes, you saw me deploy Ross. He's still got one more job to do before he can retire. Ross has more longevity than Garcia, folks. As for Chapter 12, there's not too much to say. It's a kill boss map where you just fly Cormag to the boss and smack him on turn 4. There is also the wrinkle that to get the Sword Slayer, which we want, you need to kill the boss on player phase. Everything else is focused on side objectives. It's good that I have a map like this because I need a lot of side objectives. Short-term objective-wise, there's not that much. We have to recruit Ewan, and we need to get the Guiding Ring off a shaman near the boss. But I have a lot of long-term objectives for a breather chapter like this. Some I forgot to mention last chapter are Duessel wants S axes before we get Garm. This is trivial, we'll get it in this chapter. Cormag wants just as high of a level as possible to use Pierce Rigs, so I'll keep tracking his level in the description despite him having already promoted. And a reminder of what else to track. This is our last map to set up an 8-use Steel Axe, a 1-use Hand Axe, and a 5-use Steel Lance. The 8-use Steel Axe in particular is a very close shave, especially since I don't get a turn 4 enemy phase. I need to use it 14 times, and there aren't very many enemies near the starting area. Tana needs to promote, so I feed her every kill possible on this map. This is unfortunate, because someone needs to recruit Ewan, and Tana's better at it than Vanessa, but Vanessa's gotta be doing it anyway. Lastly, don't forget the staff rank grind. This positioning of Seth is fun because it forces a 1-2 enemy, one of the shamans, to attack at 1 range. Seth will be the first unit taking point on this chapter, grinding on the Steel Lance. Vanessa takes Ross to drop on the water and distract an enemy next turn. In the process, Ross will also use the hand axe exactly once to set it to 1 use. Proof Forde sucks. The pirates prefer attacking him over the lance-wielding Cormag. If that Javelin Cavalier had hit Ephraim on enemy phase, I could have rearranged the order that things happen on this turn so that we heal Ephraim with Moulder before attacking here. Ephraim equips a Javelin because we want this Shaman that Joshua is about to attack to suicide into Tana on enemy phase. So all the other units in its range need to be like unprioritized targets, which means equip a lot of javelins and stuff. Tana needs to be chipped as well for that shaman to suicide into her, so she uses the Slim Lance to intentionally take a counter. Fortunately, she can survive 2 rounds against these chump shamans without a dodge. Seth trades up her Javelin and moves up to the north. Duessel will be up north on turn 3 using the Steel Axe, so Seth wants to take out all the 1-2 range enemies, mostly mages, up there before this happens to increase Duessel's chance of survival. Natasha trades up a Javelin on Forde for the same reason Moulder traded up one on Ephraim. And Duessel and Duessel keep passing around the steel axe as much as possible in order to grind it down. Cormag takes Joshua to help him out on player phase 4. He'll need someone to clear the way to the boss and grab the guiding ring if the shamans don't cooperate there. If they do cooperate, Joshua can help kill the boss and make it more reliable, but spoiler alert, they don't. So this positioning with with Vanessa's very deliberate. She needs to dodge that Cavalier so that the Shaman will target Ross instead of her, and that's where Tana is better because Tana does not need to dodge the Cavalier, and the Shaman would still prefer Ross. If I had had a Pure Water, I could have not done this Ross crap at all and just tanked the Shaman with Vanessa, but alas. Ross baits the Shaman to attack from the south so that he will be out of Vanessa's range on the following turn. If Ross were in a different position, like not catty corner to Vanessa, then the Shaman would not attack Ross because he likes to stand next to allied units. Duessel attacks from the north to block off this tile so that the archer can't hit Tana. And here is my favorite convoy trick in the playthrough. Duessel and Duessel have both already moved, but I need to get the steel axe from one to the other. So Forde can grab the steel axe from Duessel, canto, and drop it in the convoy. Then Ephraim can take it out of the convoy and give it to Duessel. The convoy is the only way to trade between two units who have both already moved, and being able to access it after Canto is a fun additional bonus to this silly turn of events. Seth equips a steel sword, and Ephraim drops Natasha out of the way so that the Lance Reaver Cavalier is inclined to go for Duessel. Earlier, I said that Duessel only faces COD one time throughout the playthrough, and that it was kind of silly, and this is where that happens. Because I let Duessel miss with the steel axe on Phantom Ship, Duessel needs to use it 5 times this enemy phase instead of only 4. So in addition to doubling the 2 Baels he's near, he needs to hit the Lance Reaver Cav, which means he needs to be at low HP to be targeted by it over Seth. If I had made sure that Duessel hit on the previous chapter, Duessel could have healed on this player phase and been safe. As it is, this enemy phase is annoyingly unreliable. Cormag has a chance of death, Vanessa dies if both enemies hit, and Duessel can crit or miss either Bael, in which case I don't grind the steel axe low enough. But actually, it all works out with surprisingly little rigging. If Cormag gets hit by the archer, then the shamans will all target Cormag, which gives him a chance of death, but it also means the shamans all die to javelin counters and Joshua can help kill the boss. So here Vanessa recruits Ewan. Marissa is also on this map, but if you recruit Ewan, she'll join at the end of the chapter, even if you don't go out of your way to recruit her. In the end, Tana got 4 kills on this map, 3 on player phase and 1 on enemy phase, which is as good as I really think she can do. And with this, my weapons are finally ready for Chapter 13. I feel like this has been a more involved side quest than most unit promotions. Here, Joshua gets the second guiding ring of the 3 that we need. This is the one that Graded Stick also got in his LTC. This also clears the way for Cormag to make it to the boss. And the last thing we have to do is rig a double Axe Reaver crit on the boss. A Pierce crit would also work, but I banned those from this run. As you can see, banning Pierce crits did not make the run more reliable, just, in my opinion, more interesting. There will be some really fun boss kills later because I banned Pierce crits. We get the Sword Slayer, and that is Chapter 12 completed in 4 turns. Thank you for watching.